Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Myth Busting Podcast. I'm your host, Daisy Ariano, and I have a special guest, Linda, known as the Hachia Girl, who's here to talk about the common myth of whether it's better to express your anger and to just ball it up. Hey, Linda, what's up?
This guy. No, I'm just playing. Um, I'm good. Thank you so much, Miss Daisy.
So, Linda, when did you first come across about this common myth, and how did you understand about individuals that it's better to express their anger?
I have a lot, so I'm gonna pull out my paper real quick. So I listened to a few podcasts and heard people believe that releasing your anger is healthy and it's uncontrollable. So the best thing to do is just like let it out. And some people say that expressing anger is good and it's natural and it's useful and also it's like an emotional useful emotion that signals when something isn't right, and sometimes it helps us address when it comes to threats and injustice. Anger is seen as often negative. This is what people say. So people say that it can actually be healthy when managed properly. It's important to understand like the underlying causes of the anger and find healthy ways to cope with it, rather than suppressing and misdirecting it. Some people even resort to different methods of releasing your anger, like breaking plates, graffiti your car. Can you believe that people actually do that? Also like smashing pumpkins, go to like a rage room, um and a punching bag and more stuff to release your anger. I thought letting your anger it I thought I mean it could help, but I thought letting my anger out can help, but it does not really necessarily mean it will instantly calm me down. I'm not saying that expressing your emotion is a bad thing. Like when you rant to someone, they'll be like, chill out, and you'll be like, what the hell you just said? When you're angry, someone tells you to calm down, does that really help? No, it ain't gonna help. I have anger issues. I just get upset easily and want to be heard. At the same time, I'm working on staying calm and not dealing with the consequences when it comes to fighting people. Uh, I'm truly working on my temper, and there's definitely ways to control it, believe it or not. To be honest, like I'm being so real.
Wow, those are some great insights of your common myth. And it's really understandable. There are positive ways to channel to negative emotions, and there's still people that still view this as negative. I know there's a but to this, so we're going to take a break, and here are some words of our sponsors.
An eye opening insight of how anger affects our driving. A study found that drivers with high levels of anger are more likely to engage in aggressive and risky behavior like tailgating, speeding, or making unsafe lane changes. These drivers often suggest to control their anger, which leads to more aggression on the road. On the other hand, drivers with lower anger levels tend to drive more cautiously and calmly. This study highlights how important it is to understand and manage our emotion, especially when we're behind the wheel. Some fascinating insights from a study by Tamagawa and colleagues, which explores how our natural coping styles affect our emotional responses. The researchers looked at how different ways of handling emotion, like whether you tend to bottle them up or express them, can influence our physical reaction, especially when doing something like expressive writing. What they found is our coping strategies can actually impact not just our emotional health, but our physical well being too. So, whether you're writing to release your stress or using another method, how you deal with your emotions play a big role in how your body responds.
Welcome back, everyone. And we just left off with Linda talking about her common myth about whether it's better to express your anger or to just ball it up. So, Linda, what did developmental psychologists think about this?
Hey, I'm glad to respond to that question. There's a finding from Mr. Bushman, 2002. He did a research that which demonstrated expressing anger by venting doesn't really mean to reduce your anger. It's just it just instead it tends to intensify the emotion, leading to even more anger and more aggressive behavior. Actually, okay, he did a method of like participants were first made to feel angry and being insulted or criticized by the Confederate. They were then assigned to either a venting group where they punch or punching bag, non-venting group behavior by giving participants the opportunity to compete in a task where they could punish another person. Study found that participants who vented their anger by punching the bag actually became more angry and aggressive afterward. compared to those who did not vent. This study challenged this study actually challenged them to the popular belief that venting anger is a healthy way to manage it, showing instead that it will fuel further aggression.
That makes a lot more sense. And honestly, Linda, thank you so much for telling me about this common myth. And I really appreciate you so much for coming here. And I had a great time listening about your myth.
Well, thank you for having me. Take care, girl. Bye bye.